Shidoshi Miller again from Warrior Concepts here in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. And this is installment number 2 in Ninja Walking. In the first installment, what we took a look at was basic Shizen walking, right? Basic Ninja walking. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about walking to the convenience store, hopping out of our car and walking into Walmart, whatever it is we're doing, okay? Basic everyday walking. We don't take time aside to practice our ninja walking for 15 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever as a part of our daily practice like we might with our punches or our kicks or things like that. Okay? The point is that when you're walking, walk like this. Okay? So if you haven't seen installment 1, you can go to the website and take a look at that. What we're going to take a look at right now is this concept of Yoko Uruki or Kani Uki. Okay? Yoko Uruki, sideways walking, Kani Uki, crab walking, crabs walk sideways. It's the same thing, just different names for the same idea. Yoko Uruki relies on the fact that you've mastered or at least become very proficient with the Shizen walking, because we're going to be taking that and adding some things to it. You'll need that lesson and this lesson to be able to enter the beginning realm of the Sanshin. Okay? And I know that this isn't the way things are normally taught, this isn't the way things are normally discussed. It's okay. This is just based on my research over the last 30+ years and really trying to figure out what a student needs to get from where they are when they come in the door, when they enter the training group, to a level of proficiency. This is what we're taking a look at. We have to understand that back in the ancient days, okay, the scrolls were not written down for a new person who didn't know anything. Most of the quote-unquote new people that came into a dojo were new members to the dojo community, but these people already had heads in their closet. Okay? What that means is they were already good fighters in their own right, and they experienced these teachings, and they had this major epiphany. Man, I need to learn that stuff, because if that's available and I don't know it, then there's probably other people that know stuff that I don't know, and I need to really get a handle on these things. Okay? So a lot of this stuff grew out of the fact that we were teaching people to reshape, re-engineer, or recreate their ideas, their concepts, principles, and their basic ways of moving to what I call ninjanize what they're doing. Okay? They don't need to forget what they learned, but they do need to learn how to do things in a more efficient, effective, and more powerful way. Okay? So, on to the lesson. Right now we're going to take a look at this Yoko Uruki, or this Ichimonji walking. Okay? It's been said that if you can't do Ichimonji, you can't do Taijutsu. Okay? And if you can't do Yoko Uruki, the sideways walking, you can't do Henka. Right? And what we're talking about here is, again, just like in lesson 1, carrying the body in a very balanced way so that you are capable of moving in any direction easily in one step. Okay? So, I'm going to change up the orientation here so we can take a look at this Yoko Uruki sideways walk. Okay, so here we are again, right? Taking a look at this thing. Last time I was in this position, I was showing you just basically how to walk around in Shizen, right? As a quick primer, a quick reminder, okay? Remember, what we're doing is we're keeping the body centered. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over feet, not over knees. The knees stay flexed, okay? We need to learn to move by controlling the movement and the positioning of our hips, knees, and ankles. The relative positioning of these 3 joints is what allows us to stand up and to remain standing, okay? In our defensive tactics, you displace one of these things and the person falls down because they're not physically capable of holding themselves. But when we're talking about body movement, what we're talking about is being able to move around in effective kama for whatever the job that we're doing. Okay? Could be Shizen, could be Ichimonji, could be Ballet 101, whatever that would be. Okay? But the idea is to be able to carry ourselves in a centered, balanced, stable way so that we're able to step or kick with at least one leg without moving the torso side to side, back and forth, up and down. Okay? So I probably should have pointed this out in lesson 1, but what we're doing with this walking is we need to eliminate our body's tendency, or our own habitual tendency, to fall from leg to leg, this kind of movement, okay? To be shifting back and forth, to be doing this kind of thing as we're moving, where we're bouncing, right? Or this pitch and lean kind of thing. Right? We need to eliminate these movements so that the body is moving in a natural, upright position. And again, we're not moving like modern, graceful apes that are just kind of lumbering around. Right? We need to move. There's a difference between the average, everyday person who's just existing and a ninja who is living their life by design, and that begins with the simplest functions that we have. The way we eat, the way we breathe, the way we walk. Okay? So let's take a look at this. I'm going to start in a basic Seigan no Kama. You might know it as Ichimonji. Ichimonji is just a basic general descriptor for any of these positions where you're doing this foundational positioning for self-protection. Okay? So, not getting into semantics over lineages. Okay? So from here, again, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over feet. We'll line up with the camera here so that you can see that I have this kind of thing going on, not this kind of thing going on. Okay? There's this line that we're creating with the heel of the back foot and the inside edge of the front foot, so we're able to move along. Okay? This kind of thing. Again, please notice that when I'm moving, my body's not doing this, it's not doing this, and it's not doing this. Okay? I teach this same method, this Yokoruki, in my combat handgunning courses. Okay? When somebody's required to move and stay bladed against incoming fire. It allows you to keep the weapon on the target as often as possible because you're not having to correct for this movement this way or this up-down bounding or anything like that. Okay, so that's that important. Okay, Ninpo Taijutsu. Ninpo Taijutsu, it's the ninja's way of moving their body or working with their body, skills with their body. Budo Taijutsu, it's the warrior's way to move their body for what? Budo to me points to warfare. Okay, martial ways. Okay. We're not just limiting this to Budo. Okay? True Budo elevates to the level of this Ninpo, this enduring person. Okay? So, again, back off my pedestal. Okay? I'm going to shift from here. Remember that rocking chair rung kind of thing. So, and moving with the limbs. Okay? So from here, as I'm moving from my knees to shift things forward, I want to get into a position where I can easily move this back leg. Okay? Now in Model 1, we took a look at the feet moving this way. Okay? Front to back, heels to toes, like a rocking chair rung. Okay? This lesson takes the foot and moves it this way. Okay? So we're able to settle in and catch things this way. Watch my rear foot as my lead leg does its thing. Okay? It's this half foot or half step walking. Okay? It's not this. It's not this and then trying to pick things up. It's not this and then we're clambering. Okay? It's a coordinated effort from pieces of my body to keep the center where it's supposed to be. And then we're reaching out, just like we did in the first model, to settle in, bring ourselves across, shift, move into position for the next piece. Okay? You get this? Okay? This is really, really important. Okay? So we have this moving in front. We can do the same thing backwards, but the torso is not shifting around. Very, very important.